through this incredible career for so many years. If I had to ask you to pick one moment from your professional career where you thought this was game changing, like somewhere where you went, man, the switch is flipped. This is it. What was that moment?
I would say 2000, and that was a very tough pitch, a lot of pace and bounce and forth, and probably have to go back to first class cricket and find my way up again. So I clearly remember when we left Sydney, where the second test match was, there was a lot of, when you lose two matches badly, test matches especially badly in Australia, the whole environment becomes very tense, and there's a lot of everyone's obviously feeling a lot of pressure. And when it's your first tour to Australia and you see everyone kind of feeling that pressure as a youngster, you feel like I've got no chance here, right? Because the whole team is feeling like that. I'm the most inexperienced. How the hell am I gonna turn this around? And I remember I kind of, in that adverse situation, kind of got a resilience that, hold on, maybe I can be different if I think different. So I went into my own space, spent a lot of time just walking around by myself, sit in a coffee shop or whatever. I remember every time I stepped onto the bus or I went to a practice session, I always had music on. And I kept telling myself, I'd got 8 ODI hundreds by the time. And I kept telling myself, I'm good enough to play at this level. And if I can get 800s in ODI cricket, I can manage this as well. So I kept telling myself, I'm good enough, I'm good enough, I'm good enough. And I ended up scoring 48 in the first innings and 75 in the second in that test match, in conditions that were very tough. And I was the highest run getter in that test match for us. So that made me believe that the power of visualization and believing in yourself is so huge that we never tap into the potential of that fully. But it's only when you really put out all the distractions on the side and believe in yourself, you can do something which is not perceivable for people on the outside. So that was a big lesson for me. And even till today, if any youngster comes into the team, my first chat to them is about the same thing. It doesn't matter whether I've played 100 test matches or whether you've played 2. If on the day your mindset is better, you will perform better than me. The game gives you no guarantees. So never feel like you're not good enough because you've not played so many games. If you are confident enough, you can get 100 compared to a guy who's played 400-500 international matches. That's how you realize that how you adjust to that level very quickly. Took me a bit of time, but that was quite a revelation for me, which I always carry through in my career.
Also, I love the fact that you said you just walked around, and clearly nature seems to have a massive effect on you. Environments, nature, walking around. Does it do a lot to you? I mean,
I think it would to anyone, because
I'm on board with that. It does it to me as well. But it's just beautiful for people watching to know that just step out, walk.
What really helped back in the day, and I'll be very honest right now, it's when we didn't have devices which kind of kept you engaged so much. It was easier. I'm not saying it can't be done today. It can definitely be done. But it was much easier back then, because to have any source of entertainment apart from being at practice or chilling with friends was probably if you have a PlayStation fixed in your room. So you have to switch it on, start the game, start playing, and all those kind of things. Yes, we had iPads, but I've never been a big gamer on iPads ever. So at that point of time, what I realized was, when you go out for a walk and you put music, you choose to go out for a walk, right?
Yeah.
Because you can be in your room and be on the phone as well. So when you go out for a walk, you choose to go out for a walk, you look around. You look at the environment around you. You look at infrastructure, how the city is built. Is it different to another city? Right? You go to a park. So many different things going on. Someone's walking around with their dog. There are couples sitting there walking around. There are old couples. There are kids playing. There's so much going on. If you just observe all of that, it just puts you in a space where you're present, because to be able to observe, you need to be in that situation and you need to look.
Yeah.
So I've always felt a very distinct difference between seeing and looking.
Yeah.
You can just see something and just turn away.
Yeah.
But when you look, you are looking for something. When you're looking, you're paying attention. And when you're paying attention, you start getting more and more connected with yourself, and you start feeling balanced. You start feeling positive. You start feeling good.
Yeah.
And if something positive is happening in front of you, you start feeling the emotion of it, rather than just seeing, okay, whatever, playing, let's walk away.
Yeah.
But if you sit there, you observe it, and it's amazing how those things always came very naturally to me.
Yeah.
And whenever I felt like I was getting pulled in by the environment, I would always disconnect and move away and walk away, and it always rejuvenated.